IGN, are we seriously gonna be doing this crap again? I literally just made a video last year where you had some SJWs make the same freaking argument where, oh, Resident Evil 4 was good. There was no act of, quote unquote racism in RE4, but RE5 is a different story. We cannot remake RE5 because RE5, the first game in general, was racist. So we can't remake that game because a game based in Africa, even though the Resident Evil lore has African lore in it, when it pertains to the progenitor virus, where it was literally made from a plant in Africa. The Resident Evil devs have literally pointed out where some of the viruses creations came from plants that was based in Africa, but for some reason, a lot of SJWs over there, and yeah, hey yo, Sweet Baby Inc., I ain't done with y'all yet. Y'all gonna get a new video coming up soon, because these SJWs have taken over everything, right? They have literally tried to say like all these remakes or all these games need some ESG or need some DIE in them because the games need to be more inclusive. They need to be more politically correct and all that other BS. But guys, I'm getting real sick of these individuals where they try and make the point where even the people who worked on RE5, the developers who worked on RE5, the voice actors who worked on RE5, they said the game is not racist, but then you still had these same idiots and gaming journalists that try to make the claim that RE5 was in fact a racist game, even though the game is based on Africa. When you got black characters, I think it's South Africa on top of that, where you got the developers, right, who came out and said the game is not racist. The voice actors said it's not racist, but they still want to push this BS agenda because these individuals really have nothing else better to do. So IGN, you're on my bucket list now. I mean, I never had faith in IGN in the first place. I never liked IGN, but right now I just can't let it slide because IGN is so goddamn stupid. So let me go and read out this article from IGN. And if you guys want some further proof that these guys knew what the hell they was doing, this is their Twitter account. They got the whole freaking comment section locked in, but they ain't stopping from the quote tweets. And the quote tweets was hitting their asses hard. So the Resident Evil 5 game that can't be remade because it's a game based in Africa. Okay, let's go ahead and see what these idiots say. When Resident Evil 4 released last year, Capcom's project to remake the glory years of a survival horror series is complete, but as the game's post-credits scene suggests, the remakes aren't over. And so the big question is, where next? The obvious answer is a remake of Resident Evil 5. My favorite RE game, right there next to 4. Yes, I would put RE5 over RE4. Yeah, look. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Me, I like RE5 more than I like RE4. You don't like it? Oh, freaking well. It's clear that moving forward, chronologically, will take Capcom's remakes into the series' weakest era, and never gameplay and never decisions best left in the past. Resident Evil 5 simply cannot be remade. At least not to the standards of Capcom's best work. And so the answer is not to remake it, but to rewrite. Rewrite the game into what exactly? Rewrite it into what? Saying like you're going to take the game away from Africa? Is that what you guys are implementing? Resident Evil 5 is a survival horror series. Not that you know that playing RE5. It is survival horror. What the hell are you talking about? Sure, it features a constant flow of horrific imagery, but RE5 is an action game through and through. So what does that make RE4 then? Because RE4 was more based on action than it was survival horror, to be honest with you. But, everybody always want to dick ride Resident Evil 4. Even though it is fun, Resident Evil 4 was still more action than it was survival horror. Set in the fictional West African country, Resident Evil 5's primary antagonists are black people. Yes, technically it's the Ouroboros virus that protagonist Chris Redfield is fighting, but the parasite's host is depicted as a nation of mobs and primitives who are violent even before their infection. I mean, that's a lot of African culture that's still happening to this day. But a lot of motherfuckers don't read on African culture. They just make this assumption that everybody over there is just peaceful. Intentionally or not, Resident Evil 5 positions Africa as the dark continent, an uncivilized world harboring a diseased population that needs gunning down via Western intervention in the name of global security. That's not what I was getting from that game at all. The insensitive treatment of people of color, okay, here we go, was hotly debated even as early as Resident Evil 5's debut trailer, with writers such as Nagay Crow and Stefan Totillo pointing out the game's uncomfortable post-colonial imagery. The arguments and think pieces continued well into the game's release window, with IGN's own former editor-in-chief Hillary Goldstein having also wrestled with the subject. But that was 2009, a time when race was apparently a debate rather than a reality. In the 2020s, in a post-Black Lives Matter world, oh god, here we go with this bullshit. There is only one acceptable response to a white man shooting waves of Africans for an entire video game. No. Okay, so what does that make Leon? Right? Okay, since we bringing up this white man shooting up people of different races, what was up with Leon, a white man shooting the people over there in the Los Illuminados? Because those were Spanish people. They was mainly speaking Spanish that whole goddamn game. But because it's black people, right? They want to try to be a Captain Save-A-Ho pertaining to races. And everybody from black, white, Hispanic has dogged their ass for this same crap they have trying to spew for the past 10 plus years. God, this game wasn't racist, okay? Because you literally said it themselves. This game, the people in West Africa was being controlled by the Ouroboros virus. They wasn't doing it from their own accords. They was doing it because they was being mind controlled. Again, where's this same outrage when Leon, when he was killing all those Spanish people in Resident Evil 4? Is it because they skin color damn near matched his? Even though they wasn't the same ethnicity, they wasn't the same race? These people, man. Remakes may be able to redefine their source material, but there's only so many changes you can make until it's not a remake at all, but an entirely new game. Okay, so let me see. And if you take Africa out Resident Evil 5, is it Resident Evil 5 anymore? Okay, so you guys basically just answered your own damn question, stupid. Even with a vastly improved, more sensitive take on the continent, perhaps one with a black protagonist and a more empathetic look at the outbreak, the experience would simply be too divorced from the original to hold the name Resident Evil 5. That's why they put Sheva Alomar in that game. Because, and not to mention, it's a female on top of that. A African female lead. She was a lead. One of the female characters that I really love would come back to Resident Evil. Yeah, she got mentioned in Revelations 2 via email when Chris lost his memory. But she was still in there. The game was not racist. These idiots really just want to try to be a freaking white knight for people that says fuck, that's literally saying fuck you. Capcom now has the opportunity to ignore the past and completely reinvent this chunk of the timeline. So you guys literally said it right here, right? They should basically take Africa out of the goddamn picture and put the game somewhere else. Then that's not a remake. That's a completely new game. So where does Capcom go now? Personally, I look backwards. Code Veronica is an ideal candidate, as is the original Resident Evil. I mean, a lot of people have said Code Veronica doesn't need to get remade, but if the only way is chronologically forward, then the total rewrite of what comes next is the logical path. Because what followed Resident Evil 4 was not one terrible game, but two. Resident Evil 6 doubled down, no triple down, on the action-packed set-piece heavy shooter design to the extent that much of it could be mistaken for a third-person Call of Duty spinoff, well, if not for the monsters. Guys, look, they literally answer their own question right here. If they take the game out of Africa, is it Resident Evil 5 anymore? No, it's not. They literally answer their own goddamn question. They would just make a whole new IP. In a post-Black Lives Matter world, there was only one acceptable response to a white man shooting waves of Africans for an entire video game. No, again, what was this same outrage with freaking Leon? And he was shooting Spanish people in Resident Evil 4. See, they only care if it's with black or disingenuous people even though it's Africa and the majority and 95% of races in Africa is black skin, right? But they want to try to be a hero when it pertains to certain people. And me personally, you had some self-hating black people that would ask the media to try to protect them. Me, I got more self-respect for myself to say, fuck IGN and fuck all those white liberals and white knights that try to think that they speak for black people when they say, oh, this needs to happen. And yes, the person who made this freaking post, where's it at? Oh, look at that. He's white. A dude saying this game can't be remade because the game is based in Africa, and Chris Redfield, even though he has an African partner, an African female partner, a strong female African partner, Sheva Alamore, this game can't be remade. It needs to be rewritten. So he ain't personally say it, but I know what he was insinuating. Take the game out of Africa and put Chris Redfield somewhere else. That's not a Resident Evil 5 remake. Then you want to rewrite it? Then you gotta make a whole new IP. Resident Evil 5 was not racist. These idiots still want to push this stupid narrative 10 plus years later. The game was fun. I personally enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the boss fights, especially on professional mode. I like the areas. I like the enemies. It was hard, especially on veteran or professional mode, right? I beat the game multiple times, whether it been the 360 or whether it been the Xbox One or whether it be the Xbox Series. And I got to download it on my PC as well. The game was fun, that I bought it multiple times. But they want to keep on going with this stupid narrative that RE5 is racist. And IGN knew, this idiot over there at IGN knew he was doing because he blocked the freaking comments. He knew what he was saying was downright dumb as shit. But people want to keep on going with this spectacle that Resident Evil 5 cannot be remade in today's time because of more racism. This guy got railroaded by a bunch of people on YouTube, and rightfully so. Capcom should not listen to these idiots that think that they are heroes for certain people, because he's definitely not a hero to me. This guy's is a freaking SJW liberal, and that's what most game journalism is nowadays. It's filled with SJWs. Guys, this freaking narrative has been debunked numerous times, and people still want to go along with it, right? Because they feel some type of way. You heard he even mentioned Black Lives Matter, right? This goes to show like where his political leaning goes, left wing. So this guy right here, Matt, go suck it. They should remake Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Capcom should remake those games and make some money off of it. But guys, like I said, these idiots will keep on just going with this stupid behind narrative. They'll keep on going with it, and they'll act like they are doing something good for certain people, mainly with my skin complexion. No, Matt, Perslow, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. But that's all I got for right here, man. If you guys like the video, man, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, hit the notification bell. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.